Hello, all of our ministry partners, our brothers and our sisters. It is Pastor Paul L. Anderson from the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is on this day, Wednesday. That is the middle of the week. We hope and pray that you will find a time that you can pause and worship God and tell him thank you for what he's done. Thank you for pausing to listen to this meditational moment. This morning, as I was preparing for our time, I couldn't help but think about this passage out of John 11, beginning at verse 45 through 57, the New Living Translation. Many of the people who were with Mary believed in Jesus when they saw this happen. But some went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. Then the leading priests and Pharisees called the high council together. "What are we going to do?" they asked each other. "This man certainly performs many miraculous signs. If we allow him to go on like this, soon everyone will believe in him. Then the Roman army will come and destroy both the temple and our nation." Caiaphas, who was the high priest at that time, said, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't realize that it's better for you that one should die for the people than the whole nation be destroyed." He did not say this on his own. As a high priest at that time, he was led to prophesy that Jesus would die for the entire nation, not only for the nation, but to bring together and unite all the children of God scattered around the world. So from that time on, the Jewish leaders began to plot Jesus' death. As a result, Jesus stopped his public ministry among the people and left Jerusalem. He went to a place near the wilderness, to the village of Ephraim, and stayed there with his disciples. It was now almost the time for the Jewish Passover celebration, and many people came from all over the country, arrived in Jerusalem several days early so that they could go through the purification ceremony before Passover began. They kept looking for Jesus, but as they stood around the temple, they said to each other, "What do you think? He won't come for Passover, will he?" Meanwhile, the leading priests and Pharisees had publicly ordered that anyone seeing Jesus must report it immediately so they could arrest him. The word of God for the people of God. Thanks be unto God. I want to ask you, have you seen Jesus? This is a very powerful passage. It is now about that time in the Jewish celebration that they're about to go into Passover. We're so grateful that Passover reminds us of what God did for us all. It was when all of those who were with Moses, as they began to leave the captivity, God told Moses, after all of these plagues, what we will do is that I will ask everybody, the death of the firstborn is about to take place. So I'll ask you to put the blood of a lamb over the doorposts of your homes. That way the death angel will pass over. And it is because of that it is practiced annually, Passover, because the Bible tells us without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins. Now, Jesus had done all of these miracles, and there was a plot that was out. Did you know that there's always somebody plotting out to get those who want to do the right thing for the right reasons? In this passage today, it helps us to see and it helps us to understand Jesus went about doing good. And for that reason, he threatened the establishment. You know, it's amazing how those who have established power feel threatened when others question it and when things are exposed. We live in a day in a world today in the midst of COVID-19, in the midst of all of the different things that are happening, in the midst of this political season, that people are always looking and find out who's going to show up. I don't know about you, but this morning I'm happy that Jesus showed up in my quiet time. You know, when Jesus shows up, it is then that you're reminded all the miracles that he has done. Remember all the miracles that he did in the days in which we call the Bible days, how he healed a man who had leprosy, how he touched a woman and her daughter was just miraculously healed, how he touched a little girl and he called her back to life. And how so many miracles took place. Remember the woman who had the issue of blood? She touched the hem of his garment and everything just changed. Anytime Jesus is in our midst, everything will change. I believe those who were there for the Passover celebration, they were wondering if he was going to show up to see what was going to happen. But you know, it would be great if all of us had an anticipation, wondering if Jesus will show up. I don't know about you. Every time I go and read my Bible, every time I get on my knees to pray, every time I pray while I'm sitting, I know Jesus will show up. I hope today that he will show up in your life on this Worshipful Wednesday, and you can say, God, I have enough strength to make it through the rest of the week. May the Lord bless you real good, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for your prayerful support and all the things that we have done in ministry to help so many others. We thank you so very much for your generous support in times past, and we thank you for your present support and what you will do in the future. May God richly bless you, exceedingly and abundantly above all that you're able to ask, say, or think, according to his power at work in you. God bless you.